Okay, so this is Dozie again. We are talking about social learning theory under theory of learning by the Behavioral School of Thought, right? Social learning theory. Whereas classical conditioning of Ivan Pavlov talked about learning by association, operant conditioning said learning by reward and punishment. Social learning says learning takes place by observation and imitation. Yes. Observation and imitation, or say modeling. Yes. So you will discover that a child would say a child could learn a lot of things watching the parents or the significant others. You know, you want to learn how to skate, and the father takes the son to the river and the riverside, and the child is observing how the father pulls the leg and goes against the current, all of those things, and the child will want to try. So you want to learn bicycle, want to learn to play guitar, want to learn a keyboard, and the teacher, like myself, standing in your teacher standing in your front in the class, or like myself in this video trying to impart this knowledge, or that television personnel, or those celebrities like Cristiano Ronaldo, JJ Okocha, right? All of these persons, Lionel Messi. For Lionel Messi fans, yeah, I'm still Ronaldo fan, right? Okay. So you understand that, yeah, I'm Michelle Adjman's fan, and I down too. So you understand that all of these will you will learn to behave. We understand both the musicians. Sometimes you see persons trying to barb their type of haircut, right? You understand, you see some ladies trying to dress like those celebrities or their models, right? You see mentorship is another social learning in action. Learning by observation, imitation, and you watch something. Observation plus imitation is equal to something. Please, at the comment box, I would like to know who will get that. Observation plus imitation is equal to something. Please, I will expect that at the comment box. If you know the answer, you can still reach me chat me up 070-322-61791, or email us at chidozie.obianyo.201176@unn.edu.ng. So this is social learning. We learn by observing others. We learn by, when we observe them, we imitate them. So all of those bad behaviors we learn through movie. Like children could learn what is it called, even prosocial behavior, antisocial behavior, all those antisocial TV programs, or like to do karate, to a lot of things, right? So Albert Bandura is the proponent here. Yes, he's the person that propounded it. So in his work, they held an experiment, a Bobo doll experiment, where a teacher, during the play time for children, the teacher went to the Bobo doll, a Teddy Bielemisa award, a Bobo doll, like started blowing and hitting the Bobo doll, and after that the teacher leaves. Before he knew it, children started repeating the same situation on the Bobo doll. Learning has taken place. When you come to their classes, they are seeing how you are dressing, they are watching how you are eating. For those parents that want their children to read tomorrow, please, you must be reading, and they must see you reading. That is the best way to make children have a good attitude towards reading. Yes, those things you want them to do, be an exemplar. That is why mentors not only live by instructions, but by examples in their actions, right? So there are two things. Okay, let me first point out the classical, okay, there are, we call them the conditions necessary for learning to take place in social learning setting, social learning aspect of learning. We call them their attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. Attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. If you don't pay attention in the class, you're learning nothing. Whatever that teacher, as the model is saying, you are not learning anything. If you, in fact, you are not even listening, you are just moping. Come on, that is not learning. That learning, social learning, will not happen. Retention. If you didn't retain it, how do we assess you learned it? I taught you how to ride a bicycle. The teacher comes and teaches you the whole process, and you forgot when you left the classroom. Come on, how do you learn that? You want to learn bicycle, you want to learn how to skate, you must pay attention by observing. And after observing, you must try to retain the steps given to you. And reproduction, you must try to replicate or reproduce the behavior you have paid attention to, retained, and you must try to reproduce it. Try and practice those mathematics steps. Try to practice those topics. As I'm teaching here, please play it again and again. Observe and pay attention. Retain it. Try to reproduce it before exam. And you do the final reproduction, right? Yeah, for in the exam hall, right? Motivation. There must be a motivation. You must be motivated. Come on, if you are finding what we're doing here boring, you're not supposed to be a psychology student in the first place, right? Intrinsically or extrinsically, you must be motivated. Whatever be your reasons, it must be an activity you have interest and you are motivated to engage in, right? So that is the conditions for observation learning to take place. You know, we also call it observation learning or social learning theory. So at this point, you understand the reasons why persons that are born environments where they smoke, where their parents use drugs, all of those things. You understand why they also engage in those things, right? You understand why some environments are not healthy for children to be grown. You understand why some at some point started dressing like Naira Marley, right? Or most of those music stars or movie stars, right? Yeah, or football stars taking their kind of hair and everything. Even some of those footballers, you still see them trying to mimic other people's celebration, all of those things, right? Now, there are something I need to point out. When we're talking about social learning, you know, in operant condition, we talked about reinforcement and punishment, positive and negative, all of those things, right? In social learning, we are talking about vicarious reinforcement and vicarious punishment. Now, this word vicar, if you check it conceptually, is trying to tell you there is somebody you are modeling, somebody you are looking up to, somebody you are observing, right? So vicarious reinforcement, remember the reinforcement we talked about already, is to encourage a behavior or the tendency of that behavior to be repeated, while punishment is to discourage. So what is then in social learning? Vicarious reinforcement. So imagine the father that took a child to the river to learn how to skate, and the father enters with his kid against the current and has an accident. Maybe he did a mistake and fell inside the water, and the water runs him like gives him a run of his money, right? I'm trying to runs him down. Let me use that one. I don't know how I'm going to use that or put that ball. You understand? The child has said, whoa, I think this is dangerous. I wouldn't do that. Even if I'm going to do that, I wouldn't do what my dad just did. You see, the child have learned from the father's mistake. So you don't necessarily need to do a mistake before you learn that fire burns. You could see people that have gone through that fire before. You could see people that have try to engage in unhealthy relationships and the outcome in their lives, or unhealthy maladaptive use of substance, like substance use disorder or substance abuse, right? All of those things, you will see the effect on them, and you would understand that, come on, this is not the best way. This is vicarious. Am I talking about vicarious punishment? Oh boy, I just explained vicarious punishment, guys. So observing and seeing these models punished, you'll be discouraged to engage in it. Please, guys, this is vicarious punishment I finished explaining. But vicarious reinforcement on the other way around is when the person is rewarded for doing something. So imagine at that point your mother, the mother goes out, and the two kids, these two siblings, one is 8 and one is 15, and that is 15 years, the girl goes to the mirror, takes on the mother's beauty collections and start rubbing the lips. Oh wow, the younger one will be laughing, smiling. Oh wow, and the 15 years old girl is dressing at the mirror and wearing the mother's clothes, wearing the mother's shoes, and demonstrating at the mirror and everything. And boom, the mother comes in. Now, what do you think? Either vicarious reinforcement will happen on that 8 years old child, or vicarious punishment. He's still an observer. Now, when the mother praises the 50, oh, sweetheart, you almost look like a mother. You're sweet. Now, go remove my clothes. Don't touch it no more. You are lovely. Oh, come on, let's take a picture. That kind of thing, right? That 8 years old must try it over and over again, whether you like it or not. Because the outcome of that behavior was rewarded. But what if the mother comes in and goes, what? What do I do with my kids? This is expensive. Even my clothes, I don't. You know what? You're gonna replace this. Your monthly allowance, I used to replace them. Any other thing, the mother may even give the child timeout. The 15 years old timeout, or the 12 years old, let's do that. A timeout. Don't come out. You know what? All of those things. So the 8 years old has learned a behavior by observing, and this is the one we call vicarious punishment. When we refrain from engaging in a behavior as a reason of observing the person, that another person that was engaged in it being punished. Yes. So this is social learning in action. The other experiment by monkeys, chimpanzees were given let's say a bottle of drink with a straw inside. 5 on the other side, 5 on the other side. 5 were suckers, are called the suckers. The other ones are dippers. So the dippers were the one that will put the straw inside the drink, bring it out and lick. They'll put it and lick the small tip, the drop on the straw. Okay, but the other ones these ones were not enjoying because it was not really flowing, right? But they discovered that the other ones would put their mouth and suck it, and they were getting what they are looking for. They learned that, and they started. This is how learning takes place in social learning. The little thing I want to add in this place is latent learning. Latent learning occurs almost like in passively. Passively, you are not being taught anything. You are not necessarily even observing. You are not even, by operant condition, being rewarded or punished by anything. So there is no association in classical condition happening. There is no reward or punishment happening in operant, and there is still no attention to retain any learning. There is nothing to you don't even know you are observing. Passively, the learning is taking place. You are not making any effort to observe, but latent learning happens. Until that behavior is called to action, you see it happen. Imagine a child that the father has been taking, a 12 years old child, and then the father do take them on a car to school every day, and a day came, the father was not chanced, maybe he was called to work on time. What happens? The child is now in 3rd year, maybe primary, or you understand, the 12-year-old child currently, right? Whichever class, right? So you understand, okay, the child may be, honey, I don't know, you've not been in school alone. Can you say, Dad, I know the way. I'll go my bike, right? You discover that child will go with the bicycle to the school easily, with ease, without missing roads, because he has traveled that road with the father over and over again, not observing to learn the route, but the learning took place. Yes, so you understand this is latent learning in action. This learning takes place only when you see that some children, that their parents are engaging in some behavior like repairing something, or kind of works that they do in front of children, sometimes even how to cook. We don't necessarily need to teach children those things, but they being around and helping out with some things, they learn to do those things. That is latent learning in action. So please do well to subscribe, like our videos. Anyone you watch, please like. I'll be expecting the answer to my question in the comment box. Thank you, and see you in the next video.